Okay. So I think everyone can see the screen, all right? So we know that, if we have multiple records to be entered into the system, like if I have multiple accounts or a multiple contacts to be entered into the system in one go, the best way to do that is upload the data, right? So how do we upload the data? It's pretty simple. Okay. If you have multiple records, what will you need to do? You will just need to put it in a table format, okay, in a tabular format. Tabular format can be done in Microsoft Excel. So I am pretty sure that everyone present here must have worked on Microsoft Excel. So if you have multiple records which need to be entered into the Salesforce, you just need to put your data in a Microsoft Excel file, okay. Save that Microsoft Excel in a .csv format. Okay, so let's just do a small demonstration so that we understand it.
And Jeet, what is CSV format which you're saying?
It's a format, file format. I'll just show you. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say I have this list. Okay, I told you multiple records. You can always put in a Microsoft Excel in a tabular format. So let's say I have these 4 accounts. Okay, I need to enter all these 4 accounts into Salesforce. All right, and I have all these fields. So I have the company name, web address, I have the phone number, fax number. You can have more fields. You can have more rows. Right? It doesn't matter how much data you have. The process is going to be the same. So once your file is ready with the data, once you have put the data into the file, then you save it in a CSV format. So this is a file format. You just go to File, Save As, and save the file. By default, Excel files are saved in Excel workbook format, right? You have to select comma delimited format, CSV comma delimited format. This is the only format which is recognized by Salesforce data loader. Okay. So what you have to do is you just have to go and save it in the CSV format. Just go ahead and save it. All right. Once you try to save it in CSV format, it might ask you some question that it will be saved or replaced or something. You can just click on yes and go ahead. So, I think you guys pretty well know how to save a file. So, put your data in Excel, okay, in the form of a table. Save as CSV and make sure you are saving it in CSV comma delimited format. You might find a couple of other CSV formats. Save as, you will see there is CSV Macintosh, CSV MS-DOS. I want you to save it in CSV comma delimited. Okay, so this is the file format that should be used. And then you need to log in into data loader. That's it. So use data loader, right, to log in into to upload the file. Alright, so data loader, as we have talked about it earlier, this is a application used for performing bulk data operations. So this is an application that you have to install on your system, and this can be used for performing bulk data operations. All right, so it's pretty simple to do a bulk data operation using data loader. I will just show you how can I use this file and put this file into Salesforce using the data loader. All right.
Yeah, Jeet,
Mhm.
what is the difference? Why only we should use common delimited? Why not Macintosh and
So
MS-DOS?
that is a file format which is compatible with Salesforce. Okay, so
Okay.
every system has certain compatibility thing that okay, this file format is recognized compatible, this is not compatible. So
Okay.
Salesforce.com has that compatible file format and it uses CSV only, right? So there is no
Yeah, but
there
this is
are
only CSV, right?
sorry.
But they are also CSV, right?
Right, but basically the point is that there is some difference between that CSV comma delimited and the CSV Macintosh and CSV what is that MS DOS, right? So the
Yeah.
MS DOS format is recognized by the MS DOS thing that is meant for Macintosh, and comma delimited separates every value using commas. Okay, so all these fields that you see
Is it
here.
like people using Mac? They used to
No,
they
no,
are
no, nothing
supposed to
like
use
that. No, no,
Macintosh, or is it?
no, nothing like that. You have to use comma delimited. Okay. Uh, so here, what happens? Each
Okay.
value is separated by a comma.
Yeah.
Okay. So Salesforce recognizes that format of values. So it can actually take the values which are separated by comma. So we don't have to do this. We just the moment we save it as comma delimited file, it automatically separates
Voice
each
is
value
breaking.
using commas. Okay. Now the file is ready. Now we'll just need to go to the data loader. Okay. So as I told you, data loader is an application which can be used for performing bulk data operation.
Jeet, your voice is breaking pretty badly.
Now how is it? Is it clear now? Cannot listen. Okay. Just give me a minute. 1 second. Hello. Is it clear now? How is it now? Is it still breaking? That's good. No means it's not breaking or it's not clear. Okay, give me a minute. How is it now? Any better? How about now? Now is it better? Okay, give me a minute. Hello. Yeah. How is it now? Everyone can hear it clearly? Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Jay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Thanks. So, back to the data loader concept. So as I told you, this application needs to be used for uploading the data. So now I have data loader already installed in my system. In case you do not have data loader installed, you can just go to setup, data management. Under data management, there is this option called data loader. All right. So you can just go to data loader, download the data loader. It will download the exe file for you, and then you can just install it. Okay. That's it. So I think I have data loader already installed in my system. Data loader, yes, I have this. So this is an installed application. We can use this. Do we have data loader? That's this. Okay, so it has all the options. If you want to insert the data, if you want to update some existing data, if you want to upsert something, delete something, export also, all those things can be done from here. The moment you click on any one of the options, you will be required to provide the login ID and the password for it. All right. So I just want any one of you to give me the login ID password of your developer edition. That's one thing. Secondly, what I need is I would need a security token. So to log in into data loader, there is one more additional security token which is generated by Salesforce. Okay, system generated security token. So who can give me the login ID password? Anyone?
Okay.
Okay. So can you please
Right.
put anyone? Can you just put a private message to me with the login ID password? I will use that. Anju, you can share. It's absolutely fine. Okay. So, once you open the data loader, why does it ask for login ID and password? Because Salesforce needs to understand which org are you talking about, in which Salesforce org the data needs to be inserted. When I say insert, it asks for login ID and password, right? So it just wants to make sure that which org are you talking about, right? So now if I use Anju's login ID password, the data that I import will get into Anju's org, right? If I use Chandra's login ID password, the data will get into Chandra's org, right? So Salesforce.com needs to understand which org are you talking about. So first of all, give me a minute. Let me log out of this. Log in into this. Anju, you would receive a verification code on your email ID. Can you just give it to me? Six triple 884. So I have to supply this verification code because I'm logging into this account for the first time, right? So here we are. Now I know the login ID password. I should go to data loader. I should put the username and password. The username and password that you use for logging into salesforce.com, same username password needs to be supplied. Now I have put the username and password. I try to log in. The moment you try to log in with the username password, it will throw you an error. It says please check your username and password. However, my username and password both are correct. There is no problem with the username or the password. Both of them are correct. But it still throws an error. The reason being, I have not supplied the security token. I told you while you are logging into sales data loader, you will need one more password, which is a system generated password, which is called security token. Okay, so I think a lot of times when you log in into your online banking or something, you get one time password kind of a thing, or verification code in the mobile number. Same kind of concept is here. You'll have to generate a security token before you can use the data loader. Okay, how do you get your security token? It's pretty simple. You just have to go to my settings. Okay, so just go to setup. My personal information, reset my security token. Okay, so people who don't see this kind of option, they can go to my settings. Under your name you can go to my settings, and under that you will have a reset my security token option. Click on this reset my security token and then click on reset security token. Now the moment you click on this, this is a system generated security token which will be sent to your registered email ID. Alright, so just click on reset security token. The token will be sent to your registered email ID. So Anju, I think you will receive a security token on this email ID. Can you please fetch the security token and give it to me in the chat window? So it's pretty simple. The security token is generated and sent to your registered email ID. You just pick it from your registered email ID and use it in the data loader login screen. So here is the security token that I have received. It's a long security token, alphanumeric key. Copy that, and on the login window, you just have to put the security token right after the password. You've typed your password, right after the password paste the security token. No space, nothing. Okay, right after the password put the security token and try to log in. This time it will get logged in successfully. Okay, login completed successfully because I've supplied the security token. Got it? So every time you're using data loader, you will need to use the security token. That's very important. Now you can just go to next.
Jit, could you please show me the path once again?
Just go to your name, click on that, under that my settings, and under that reset my security token. All right. Now, what data we want to import? We want to import the account, right? There are so many data tables here. I have accounts, contacts, opportunities, campaigns, leads. What do you want to insert? I want to insert accounts. Then choose your CSV file here. Browse the file. Now it's just a matter of drag and drop, or just a few clicks. That's it, which is pretty much easily understandable. So I have my file saved on desktop. Wherever you have saved your file, you just pick it from there. Browse the file. Mine is import file. Yes. So just browse the file. Go to next. The only thing that you have to do now is okay. Your operation will contain 4 records. I had 4 records in the file. Okay, it's fine. The only thing that you have to do is you have to create a mapping of the fields. Mapping of fields means in Salesforce account has some 50-60 fields, right? In the Salesforce we have seen, if if you come here on the Salesforce accounts, you would see when you try to create a new account, there are so many fields available here, right? Name, percent, test percent. I do not know why is that, but whatever. Currency, date, this, that, phone, fax, website, email, test. There can be hundreds of fields. How many fields are there in my Excel file? 4, right? So what I'll need to do is I will need to map the fields, the fields from the Excel spreadsheet with the fields from Salesforce. That's something which we need to do. Sorry, I closed it by mistake. Select the object for which you want to import the data, browse the file, then say create mapping. So at the top you have all the fields from Salesforce, at the bottom you have the fields from your spreadsheet, from your CSV file. Company needs to be mapped with the name. Account name equals company here. Okay, so these are the field names that you have used in Excel, and these are the field names which are used in Salesforce. Do the mapping. Phone can be mapped to phone, that's correct. Drag and put it beside phone. Fax can be mapped with fax. Web address can be mapped with website. So mapping of the fields is done. Okay, then click on OK, go to next. Okay, now step 4, it asks you for a location where you want the success and error files to be stored. What is success and error file? Success and error file is the log files. If I'm trying to upload 1000 accounts, okay, there is a chance that out of 1000, let's say 50 records can have errors. There's a possibility, right? If I'm trying to enter 1000 records into my Salesforce, out of that 950 might get imported and 50 might have errors and they will not get imported. Some of them may have some issue, some error, some data value is not correct, mandatory field is missing, any error, there can be some error, right? So this success and error file will store that, the records. So it will create 2 files, one will be called success, one will be called error. Success file will have all the records which got imported successfully. Error files will have all the records which could not be imported because of some error. That's it. Click on finish, say OK. The operation has fully completed. There were 4 successful inserts and 0 errors. So your all records were successfully inserted. There were no errors, but there can be situations where there will be errors. Okay, so you can see the success files and error files from here directly. You can click on view errors, so there are no errors, it's absolutely fine. View success. Okay, these 4 records got imported. Okay, now there is a small thing that I want you to look into. When I created the file, there was no field called ID. I just had a field called company name, website address, phone, fax, right? There was no field called ID. ID is a field which is generated by Salesforce.com. So the value for ID is generated by default by Salesforce.com. Okay, so every record which is inserted into Salesforce by default gets an ID. Okay, so whatever account or contact or opportunity, whatever data you enter into, Salesforce by default creates an ID for that record, and it's a unique identifier of that record. Correct? Like when you join a company, the company creates an employee ID for you. The same way, when a record gets into Salesforce, Salesforce automatically creates a record ID for that record, and it's a unique ID for that particular record. Clear? Done. Now all my records have been inserted into Salesforce, so you can go and find those records. See, these are 4 accounts which got inserted. Account Accenture, Dell, Deloitte, IBM. Anju, I cannot hear you. Can you check if you are not, if you are muted or something? Okay, so we are clear on this. Very simple stuff, and this is a regular activity which the Salesforce administrators usually keep on doing very frequently. As a developer, also you will be required to do this kind of data import at some point of time. So it's pretty simple. Just put all the data into Excel format in an Excel spreadsheet, save it in CSV comma delimited format. Go to data loader, log in into the data loader, put the login ID, password, security token, browse the file, map the fields. That's it. A matter of 3 minutes. All right. So it's as simple as that. Now you can have 10,000 records, you can have 20,000, you can have 50,000, you can have a million records. Entering all of them into Salesforce is just a matter of few minutes. That's it. Okay, it doesn't take too long for us to do. Yeah, you can. So Anju has a question here. Can you view these records as individual accounts? Yes. So these are the records that we have created. Now go and click on Accenture and see it's an individual record now. So every record will be an individual record. Okay, and can be okay other records in the same uploaded file. See, the file is not getting uploaded. The records are getting uploaded. So file is just a container and it throws the record inside Salesforce, and the file is not getting uploaded into the system. All right. So it's only the records which are getting into the database tables. That's it. Okay. So you don't have to put other records into the same file. Okay. Now there is no significance of the file once the records have got imported into the Salesforce.com. All right. So same way. We'll do the other stuff. Export. So export is a lot more simpler. In export, this was import or insert, what we call. The next thing is export. Using export, what do? We simply export the data. Right? So you can use the same data loader. Oh my god. Again I closed it. Okay, so this time you can click on export and then you can just the same way password and security token. Okay, so the moment you try to export, again you have to decide which object data you want to export. You can export account, let's say. You have to browse a location. This time you are trying to browse the target location where you want the data to be saved, because export is not going to take the CSV file, it's going to give out a CSV file, right? So you just browse and define a target location, choose a target for extraction, click on next. I already have some existing files, so I'll say yes, replace it, no problem. Go to next. Okay, now while exporting you have to define which all fields you want to export. Let's say I want to export the name, type, ID. So all the fields are there, billing at city, shipping city, phone, fax, website. So these are all the fields, you just decide on what all fields you need in the export. If you want to put any condition, let's say, you just want to export the data from a particular country where country equals Canada or something like this, you can put that filter here. Okay. I don't want to put any condition here. So, and then you can just click on finish. So decide on the fields, decide on what condition you want to put for the data to be exported, and that's it, and you should click on finish. You have chosen to perform an export, click yes to begin. Do you want to proceed? Yes, I want to proceed. The operation has fully completed. There were 20 successful extractions and 0 errors. So it has exported 20 successful records. View extraction. So these are the records here. You see this? So this is how simple that export process is. Okay, and it also creates a CSV file at the defined location. I think mine was at desktop. So yeah, here it is. This one. Don't remember where did I save it. This is a different file. This is not the same one. Anyways, I mean, you just need to keep in mind that you are saving it. You browse the proper location and save it. Where you want to save it. All right. My Excel has a bit of problem. Right. So clear on this, how the data is getting imported and how it is getting exported. So taking an export is again simple. You just need to go to data loader, select the object, then just go and select the fields that you want to export and the filter in case you want to put any filter on that. All right. Okay. So Anju, any duplicate records, any record which has a different or unique identifier is not considered as a duplicate. So it will not consider anything a duplicate until and unless it has a different identifier. So all the records are unique. The fact that a record has got into the system itself proves that it's unique. For Salesforce cannot segregate between this and that is duplicate. For if you want to put any restrictions on duplicate records, you should put the restriction while the data is getting inserted, right? At time of export, there is no concept of duplicate and all that stuff. Duplicate concept should come into picture while we are entering the data. And for that, we can have certain logics working for that. So we'll, gradually talk about that, but I hope that concept is clear, right? So something which has got into the system, when the data is getting into the system, that is where the duplicate check should happen. Yeah. So that is something which we'll discuss a little later. In Salesforce, by default there is no provision of restricting the duplicate records. However, we can have our own system of restricting certain duplicate records. Okay. All right. Now we are done with import. We are done with export. Now the third thing that we are going to do is a delete. Simplest of them all. So while we do a delete, for delete operation, again I need a CSV file, but in this CSV file I need IDs only. Okay. So to do a delete operation, you just need the IDs of the records that you want to delete. You don't need anything else. You just need the record IDs, the ones that you want to delete. Got it? Desktop extract. This one. Okay, so how will I get the IDs? The best way of getting the IDs is you do an export and take the IDs of the records that you want to delete. Okay. So, sometimes export can be used for just taking out the IDs, because ID is system generated. So I do not have the IDs right now, the records that I want to delete, right? Or you can get the IDs from the success log. Remember, while you did the import, at that time we got the success log. So if I get that success log file, that should also help me getting the IDs. Log files. Okay. Today is what date? Today is 16th March, right? Yeah. So this is the error file that we got for today. And here should be the success file also for today. This is the success file. Huh? See, so this is the success log of the records which we imported. So here also I have the IDs defined. So if I have to delete these 4 records or whatever records, I can use the IDs. So for a delete operation, you just need to take the IDs. Take the IDs, create a new file, put the IDs here, save it as comma delimited format. Desktop. Date today, 16 March 2015. The format should be CSV comma delimited. That's it. So for delete file, you should just have one column. That's it. So life is a lot simpler for delete operations. Go to data loader and this time click on delete operation. What do you want to delete? Account. Browse the file. This is the file that I want to use for deleting. That's it. Click on OK. There's just one field which needs to be mapped. ID with the ID. That's it. OK. Click on next. Finish. It will give you a warning before you delete. You know, as usual, whenever you try to delete something, you get a warning. So it gives the warning. The number of records allowed in your recycle bin is limited. The action you are about to take may cause irreversible data loss to records. So that's fine. Sure, you want to continue? Yes. So all these 4 records get deleted. Correct? So for deleting, you just need the record IDs. You don't need anything else. Supply the record ID and the records will get deleted. Okay. Now what happens to the data which gets deleted? Anything that you delete in Salesforce does not permanently get deleted. Okay, it goes to the recycle bin. So in Salesforce we have a recycle bin. If you come here and if you go to the home page, you will see a recycle bin here at the at the left hand side. You can just click on this and you will see all the deleted data will be here. Okay, so it stays here for 15 days and you will have time for 15 days to go back and restore it in case you do not want to delete it. Okay, if you don't restore it in 15 days, then it will be gone. So select the data that you want to undelete. You select it and undelete. Undelete means restoring it back. Got this? So I just deleted some data. All those 4 records have come to the recycle bin by default. All the data. So whenever you have deleted something by mistake, don't get worried. That will be there in the recycle bin. So you can quickly go back to the recycle bin and undelete the one that you want to. Okay. So I select everything and I say undelete. Shalini has a question here. She says, how do I delete a single record? So deleting single record is pretty simple. Huh? Just go to account, select the account that you want to delete, and then you will have a delete button here. So just go to that particular record and delete it. As simple as that. Right? Once, yeah, Anju, that's correct. So once it is deleted from the recycle bin, that's permanent. So if you have, and that is the reason why we suggest that before you delete any data, whenever you start working on practical, projects and stuff, before you perform any delete operation, do take a backup of the data. No matter how confident, how sure you are about that, about the delete to be done. It's always a good habit to just take a backup of the data and then delete it from salesforce.com, so that in case you require that after a week, 10 days, 1 month, you can always use that data, right? So we always archive the data before we delete it. Even if it's duplicate data, useless data, we know that it's old data, not going to be used anytime, but you never know, you might need it. And the best part is that you start realizing that you needed that data just after deleting it. So I think it happens to us in case of our other files also, right? Sometimes we just keep on cleaning our desktops or system. We delete some files and then only we realize, oh my god, I needed that file, why did I delete it, right? So it's still fine if it's that's your personal data, but if it's company's data, you just need to be a little more careful and cautious. Alright, so the delete part is done. Now there's one more thing that we need to do, that is called an update operation. Okay. Update also requires the IDs. Okay, so for update you have to prepare a CSV file that should have IDs. Or let's do one thing. I mean, let's hold on to this update operation. I think we will talk about update tomorrow. We'll not get into update because you just need to understand that ID concept. So let's just hold on to this. We have talked about import, we have talked about export, we have talked about delete. Okay, so I just want you guys to go back and work on these three things for today. So data loader, you know how to install. So just go to just go to setup, data management, data loader, download the exe file, install it on your system. Prepare a file with some dummy records. Try to do an import, then try to do export, take out the data and try to delete some data, right? So once you're done with that part, update operation should not be a difficulty anyhow to understand, right? Fine. Anyone has a question here?
Yes, Jit, I have it.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I cannot understand means why we need to create a new file and paste all IDs inside and then we have to delete it. I think that's time consuming. Why we need a separate file to paste all IDs in that and then delete it?
So
I don't know.
what is your suggestion? I mean,
No,
you're saying that why did I create a different file? Why didn't I
yeah,
use the
I
same
think
file?
yeah, like you cannot use because you said that you need only IDs. Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not I need only IDs. I could have used the other file also. But why I'm creating a separate file is just to make
Yeah.
sure that I have just selected the records that I want to delete. Sometimes it may happen that that log file has given you 500 records and out of 500 you just want to delete 100, right? So it's always good to
Okay.
create a separate file and be sure about that, because it's a delete kind of an operation, right? You could have used
Okay,
the
I got
same
it.
file. There is no problem,
I got it. Yeah.
right? Okay. So I think